Yo. Yeah, Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? Yeah, Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? Yeah, Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? What are we even doing here?
Yo, Wi-Fi fighting, but they holding it down. How about them J-era Maz ballers running Beantown? They say these guys are ridiculous, yet probably true. Like the 23 Celtics, they got a deep crew. Pregame Polly Papa trying to make some bank. Professor Pete repping Latvia, KP the thing. RJ's on the email taking fools to college. Joey, Matt, Timo, Robin, let's acknowledge. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? In the garden, fighting for a quiet spot. Jack's taking notes while the crowd gets hot. Irate, insightful, not a diplomat. Sam's got a long list and it's just for rats. Rat list your Wi-Fi, rat list your dog. Rat list Barney, rat list LeBron. Rat list the traffic, rat list the song. Rat list that's getting too long. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? Might think they're chill, but don't get it twisted. They're not just hustling, they're highly gifted. Still new to the scene and making their mark. It's a humble beginning, it's a hero's arc. Sam's keeping it real with the Starkey vibe, but he's all in with Jack when it's time to ride. Yo, ass hat in the chat, Jack says don't come back. He's got zero patience for nonsense attacks. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Jack and Sam talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here?
Hey, here we are, preseason, game 2, tipping off in about a half hour. Don't know if Jack's coming today. He is up in Toronto for the game, but I have the pleasure of being joined by my good friend Bobby Kravitsky. Bobby, hello.
Samuel, always a pleasure. Glad to be here. I don't know if it really comes through. It probably does, but I've had a hat on all day like yourself, so I've kind of got like the matted helmet hair right now.
So you took the hat off just for the show?
I took the hat off when I got home, which was roughly 30 minutes ago.
I see. Yeah,
so
I've
playing through it.
I've really leaned into not really having anywhere to be, so I don't do my hair that often anymore, and I'm just always in hats now. Like, I still have my hair for now, but I'm just always got all my hats. Got a bunch of them over here, and going to make sure we look presentable for the show. But yeah, preseason game 2, a little bit of a different look coming from the Celtics today. Looks like Jaylen and Derrick will sit, as you tweeted out not long ago. But Pritchard, Simons, Minot, Boucher, Queta, 3 newish faces that at least didn't play the other day in the starting lineup. Bobby, who are you the most excited to get your first 25-26 look at today?
Yeah, the most probably goes to Queta because we know what Simons can do. So if we're singling out an individual from especially just the starting unit, then I'd say it goes to Queta, who, as we all know, had a very encouraging showing over at Eurobasket, where he dealt with a gauntlet of players like Jokic and Porzingis and Şengün. So what does he do now on an NBA floor? Granted, Sam, the Raptors are sitting their anticipated starting lineup, so he will not be proving himself against Jakob Poeltl tonight. That certainly changes things, just like measure appropriately when the Celtics Wednesday in Memphis, there were some key players, obviously not in the lineup for the Grizzlies, like John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., among others. So for Queta, still very intrigued to see what this looks like for him. First chance to really step into the starting lineup in a role that we expect him to nail down, really. If he had, he is the incumbent, it's on him to lose the job. And I don't think there's enough time for Luka Garza, for example, to take it from him. But it is his job, and this is his first chance to show us what his offseason growth really looked like in an NBA setting.
Yeah, I'm getting really sick of these teams not fucking playing anybody because I'm looking to learn things, and nobody wants to teach me. Shout out to the Grizzlies for just rolling out a G League lineup on Wednesday. Can't even really get that pumped about Ugo looking really good. or at least showing glimpses of being good. He definitely did like the thing where he does the Euro step no matter what and just goes right into the defender on the way to the basket. But Memphis is like, yeah, here's Javon Small, Cedric Howard, and the boys. Have fun with that.
But I mean, like Cedric Howard was the 11th pick for a reason. They're both rookies, so somewhat of an equal playing field there.
Yeah, I mean, you just want like more. Like even today, right? Like this is a super anticipated debut for Simons. We've been talking about him all summer. It's been like, will he fit? Won't he fit? How's he going to fit next to Pritchard? Like Joe Mazzulla is like, you guys are going to find out right away. I'm going to start both of them. And then Nemi, as you mentioned, like there's been so much anticipation of the Nemi, the growth, the move into the starting lineup. And now you just have like, who's even starting for the Raptors? I got to pull up the thing. I know you mentioned it's not the regulars. I believe Jack put it out, so I'll read it from his Twitter. But if it's not the regulars, then, I mean, what are we doing here?
It's tough, but there is another chance on Wednesday, depending on who's healthy for Toronto when they come to TD Garden. So perhaps we'll get these opportunities that we're lamenting losing tonight on Wednesday.
I hope so. By the way, I'm just terrible at finding anything. The Raptors social media does not put it out. We're gonna all sit here
with everyone
mystery.
With everyone not starting, they're just refusing. They're like, "Hey, you guys can, if you want it that badly, you could search."
Well, the bad thing is like the Raptors are so like in the shadows, not in the spotlight. They haven't been good, not in this country. Like obviously not going to be covered very greatly. I really can't go down the roster and name a bunch of guys and guess and give you a good projection. I know Mamu is one of their rotation guys. Oh, man. They just don't want to tell me anything. This is terrible. I'm just dying.
Is Grady Dick available?
I don't know. Is Grady Dick one of the regular starters? Let's see. Raptors starters. Absolutely nothing here. Raptors will rest their starters. That's all it is. Oh, let's see. Grady Dick, Colin Murray-Boyles, Jamal Shed. Still nobody tweeted out an actual lineup, just saying they're going to rest the starters. So,
yeah, I know it wasn't a great summer league for Murray-Boyles, but I still like him, and he's looked better in the preseason.
I liked him coming into the draft. I did one of the many draft previews we did on Hardwood Houdini. Jack, Bobby, and I just hammered him out. There wasn't much other content to hunt. And wouldn't you know it, we did preview Ugo, but not on the YouTube channel. Jack and I did everybody but Ugo around that range. And
that's funny. I had Ugo for us over at Hardwood.
Yeah, you were one of the first, right? That was like one of the first guys you did.
Yes.
Colin Murray-Boyles was somebody I was like, man, switchable, like the next Draymond, as we've kind of fallen in the trope of saying that all the time. Like whenever someone's like a little bit undersized, you think they can play the big, might be able to
once
shoot the
discussed for Yabusele.
Yeah, I mean, we love to say it. It just we can't stop saying that. Let's see. RJ says hardcore fans are excited about Exhibit 10 guys that are destined for Maine. Yeah, I mean, the weird thing about the Celtics roster is the majority of that is already set. We didn't even really get to see too much of the main guys in game one here. So maybe tonight you'll see a little bit more with no Jaylen, no Derrick White, but looking forward to seeing more Ugo. Like he exceeded expectations. Did he like overachieve in your eyes in the first game? Was it what you expected? Like what was your biggest takeaway from that besides the Grizzlies were playing like their third stringers to start, aside from Cedric Howard?
So we all understand that it's common for someone to look one way, good or bad, at Summer League and another when they get to an actual setting of just or mostly NBA players. But I do think that what Ugo showed is that he is acclimating quickly. And I'm not entirely surprised by that, but it was still very encouraging because he's someone who over in Madrid had an impressive feel for the game and a very good basketball IQ for his age at 19. But it's such a dramatically different approach where this is more like a speed that resembles NASCAR and players will come down and shoot right away. And the best shot can commonly be early in the clock. It is not like that whatsoever in the ACB where he was playing. And you could see that at times, especially in the beginning of Summer League, that his head was spinning. Different story clearly Wednesday against the Grizzlies. So I think he's getting up to speed at a commendable rate.
Yeah, I was just so impressed with how versatile defensively he was, willing to just fly all over the court, be disruptive. Like, he was as advertised. The first thing Brad Stevens said about him when they drafted him is he's a guy that can contribute to winning, plays at a high level with a high motor. And then, of course, Jack did the TikTok deep dive, bought the EuroLeague League Pass, watched all the Real Madrid games, and came away with that conclusion, where this guy is just an absolute dog. And he delivered on that on Wednesday. Just really awesome debut. Probably couldn't have did much more other than just showed me something going to the basket. Happy with the three-pointer, happy that he got out in transition, happy that he was pressing up on guys. He is the perfect type of role player to be on a championship team. And hopefully by the time they're ready to compete again, his skill set's more sharp. He's somebody who's going to have less room for offensive negative chaos. Good chaos is good chaos, but we need to get rid of the bad chaos with Ugo. I feel like that's the big thing. But welcome in, everybody.
And I'll tell you this, Sam, another positive for Ugo that bodes well is I did the exclusive interview with him for Forbes, and between that and the tape, which includes now Wednesday against Memphis, there's a self-awareness to him. You mentioned the defense. He understands everything starts on that end of the floor for him. It's where, quite frankly, he can make the most impact. It's where he's going to be counted on. And it's a non-negotiable that he has the potential to be a defensive menace. And to prove that against a higher caliber of competition than Wednesday, that will take time to grow into it. But from his motor to his wingspan and his athleticism, and also an underrated strength. You mentioned those Euro steps. Even at 19 against grown men in the ACB, he's bumping them off their spot as he drives to the basket to create separation. So he has a lot in his toolbox to work with. And I think that self-awareness, it was very obvious in speaking to him that he understands everything for him stems from what am I doing on that end of the floor? That's how I can get into the lineup and stay on the floor.
Yeah, that's the exact type of player you're looking to bring in if you're Boston. Like, if nothing else, the fan base is going to gravitate towards him so fast. And this year, I know like there's really mixed feelings on how well the Celtics are going to play, how deep the rotation's going to be. Like, it really feels like Ugo's competing with Jordan Walsh and Josh Minott for the bench wing spot, where if you ask me, he's probably third place in that race right now, depending on Walsh's health with the adductor thing that he had the other day. But he has that same sort of play style, and he might make things more difficult on those two guys who, by the way, are fighting for their NBA lives. Like Josh Minott, frankly, just said that to us at Media Day. And Jordan Walsh, it's year 3, team option next year. If he doesn't impress them, they could easily make sure that he's not back. I just think he's somebody that he gets it. And Missoula has had high praise for him. I'm excited to see how he builds off it today. I know you mentioned Summer League. Summer League was kind of hit or miss for him. I'm hoping that since then we've gotten him tuned up a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit more consistent and so on. Do you know, you might not know, do you know if Jordan Walsh is playing today, or is they're just going to be careful with him?
I haven't seen any official designation on his status. They, even the last game, they said doubtful, and then it was understood he's not going to come back, but there was no official, he is ruled out for the duration of the game.
Yeah, that's true. And they have not sent anything out from the PR account yet. So we're just waiting to see on that front. Let's see. Michael, I would love some extra likes. Welcome, everybody. It's okay if you're late, Ryan. Who's sitting today? No Jaylen, no Derrick. We don't know if Jordan Walsh is. We were just trying to investigate, but we're guessing no. RJ asking about Jason Tatum. Do you think he'll be ready to play the up-tempo game when he comes back? I'll let you talk about this, Bobby. You've done a lot of Jason Tatum talks, a lot of coverage. You interviewed a doctor right away after the surgery. Video of him dunking yesterday. Shams goes on TV and is like, yeah, not only does he want to play, but the team is optimistic now that he's going to play. Do you think he's going to be able to adjust when he comes back?
Yeah, RJ, first off, shout out RJ. Secondly, it's a phenomenal question because I do think it feels inevitable is that Tatum's going to get cleared during the regular season. And at that point, the Celtics can be wherever in the standings. If he's cleared and he's going to want to play, how long can the Celtics convince him not to, and to what end? So I think that as long as he gets cleared with enough time, that we're going to see him this regular season. That's certainly become my prediction. As far as can he keep up, I think that there's going to have to be, especially in the beginning, an adjustment to having Jason Tatum in the lineup again. I don't think you can say we're playing at this breakneck pace, for instance, and Jason, just go out there and it's on you to keep up with them. I think they understand and they will both adapt to having him and also acclimate him to their approach. So I think they're going to have to meet in the middle. And because of who he is, what he means to their future, and the nature of this injury, it might not even be 50-50 on that front. It's probably, if anything, more geared towards acclimating to Tatum and the pace that is sustainable and suitable for him, again, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, like I'm kind of mixed on it because obviously you don't want the guy coming off a lower leg injury to have to get back in there and be bouncing off the walls. But I think if they form an identity that's able to win them games without him, it'll make his return a little easier. It'll take the pressure off him. He won't have to go out there and expect to carry the team. The team will have established that they can go without him. Having him will be a bonus, but that they don't need that. They don't necessarily have to do that. You know, after one preseason game against the Grizzlies, I'm ready to say that they're back. They look great. They ran all over Memphis. I blinked and they were up by 30. Like they really got down to business at the FedEx Forum on Wednesday. I just really want to see him play a real team. Like Wednesday had me pumped up, and then I had to calm myself down. I was like, man, you can only take so much away from that. But I was impressed with Jaylen in particular. Like, wrote about him before halftime. I was like, we're going for this. He comes out after a media day, a training camp, where he was consistently talking about leadership. He wants to be the leader. He's talked about it in the past. Bobby Manning did a great feature on him for The Ringer, where it was like talking about different Celtic captains. Jaylen mentioned wanting to be the captain and why that role was so important to him. He's getting guys together at Gillette. He's taking him to NBA Youngboy. And then he comes out and puts up this nuclear first quarter to be like, we're here. Like, we are not backing down from this season. That was so impressive to me for him as a leader. What are your expectations for Jaylen? Do you think that this is sustainable for him? Do you think it's going to be up and down? What is the best bet in your opinion?
Yeah, we know that he has been starving for this opportunity to be a primary option, and it's a sacrifice he willingly makes for the sake of team success and competing for, and at one point winning a championship where he gets the finals MVP. So we know what he's about, and that's why I think what you saw from him, prime example being Game 5 against the Knicks right after Tatum's injury, that's the approach, where it's not, I'm going out here to try and score 30 plus every night, and anything else that happens is secondary on my priority list. No, he's looking to be a rising tide that lifts all boats, that uses his abilities as a scorer and to get downhill and produce paint touches to create quality opportunities for his teammates. We know that at times, and commendably so, he has just pushed the pace and said, I'm going and I don't care who's coming with me. And he's so good finishing at the rim in transition that it has worked to his and the team's success and their benefit. Now he has a supporting cast around him all of a sudden where he's flanked by the likes of Simons, for now at least, and Peyton Pritchard, an athletic center, and Nemish Queta, who got in even better shape this offseason and can run the floor with him. So now he is the personnel that is more willing and equipped to do so. So I definitely think that's what we're going to see from Jaylen Brown, is someone who shows you that he can effectively be a primary option. There's going to be nights where maybe the turnovers and the shot, for example, are not working at the level that we're accustomed to. But I think we're going to see a very effective player on a consistent basis with increased production.
Yeah, you make a good point about the Knicks game. Like, that was like almost like a teaser, like watching a Marvel movie and then the post credits come on. Like, we just watch Tatum die on the battlefield, and then like all the credits go through. It's like special thanks to Sam Cassell, and then we see Jaylen just go off and really lead the boys. I think this is a great opportunity. Somehow Jaylen is still underappreciated. Like, he won a Finals MVP, and people still don't care about him. Like, I'm literally looking at a Twitter thread right now where Greeny is arguing with a guy about Jaylen being a franchise player or not. Like, that, and the person is a Celtics fan.
Yeah,
that is the level of disrespect that this guy deals with. Just, I mean, he doesn't really deal with it, but like,
and
people
that's
are just
from his own
not
fan
excited
base.
about him. Yes, literally, like it be your own, right? That's what they say. He's won a Finals MVP. Like, this is a massive earn everyone's respect, even though you should already have it, spot for him to just be like, the Celtics are still going to be fun. They're still going to be awesome. They might be competitive still. And it's going to be largely thanks to Jaylen Brown. So I'm excited to see him. Excited to see more of Derrick White, even though it won't happen today. He starts his preseason with a double-double in just 27 minutes. And to be honest with you, he looked like he was super comfortable with the extra responsibility. Like, he was doing step backs in the mid-range. He was super under control anytime he actually got inside the three-point line, did a great job of kicking it out on drives. And he seems like he's ready to be the primary ball handler. There was a lot more of that compared to last year. Like, when Jason Tatum's out there, it's Jason Tatum. Now that you have more guys, Derrick looks like he's absolutely ready.
So I know we just went long on Jaylen. I want to bring up one more point real quick and then
hammer it home
and then discuss. Thank you. So one of the most fascinating parts of this increased opportunity to me, he's coming off dealing with the knee injury, and that got pretty, I don't know if people realize just how excruciating that was for him to deal with down the stretch. And so I do wonder, as he takes on more responsibility offensively, can he sustain, for example, that plus the defensive workload of being someone that relishes guarding the best player on the perimeter night in and night out? And it's certainly the best use and how you keep Jaylen Brown engaged. So is that a balancing act where there's some adjustment there? Could this be a season where Jaylen Brown takes a leap as a help defender? And wouldn't that be welcome for moving forward when you get back to title contention? Or does he say, I want to be the guy every night, both ends of the floor, and I'm going till the wheels fall off, in which case I would be concerned, especially in a style where they're pushing the pace even more, if just how sustainable that is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be times where he rests this year. Like, just, it sounds ridiculous, but like, maybe if it's a back-to-back against a bad team, he doesn't play. Maybe they need him every single game. I don't really know. I'm definitely excited for him. Like, just Jaylen seems like a good dude, seems like a good person, wants to see the community in Boston really grow and wants to do great things here. And I think him having a good season will help that along. People will really appreciate him more and more. And I think him being out and about in the summer did a little bit for that too. So I just really cannot believe that there are people that are just like, still don't really care for him. Still don't think he's very good. Just like,
I mean, it feels like if that's your stance after an all-NBA selection, 4 All-Stars, conference and NBA Finals MVPs, a max contract, it feels like at this point you're just locked into that take for some reason.
I'm looking on Twitter right now, and NBA Central has aggregated a Bill Simmons take on D'Angelo Russell. He goes, he's your buddy that comes to visit, and it's really great when he's only there for one day. And by day 6, you're like, I'm ready for him to leave. That's D'Lo. Hopefully, that's not how we feel about Jaylen this year. But Derek Ashton is saying he could be an all-star this year. The opportunity's there. I think I wrote about this at some point in the summer. I probably read about everything you could possibly imagine, just grasping at straws in the depths of August. It is possible. We'll have to see how consistent he's going to be able to be against the highest of competition. Unlike what we saw in Memphis on Wednesday, I'm very much looking forward to Anthony Simons today. I can't wait. Anthony Simons, just at the podium on Media Day, grew on me like exponentially. Great personality, always translates to the basketball court, like just guaranteed to be a two-way menace. And then everyone at training camp has just been like, yeah, we're going to bully him into playing defense. That's been the messaging. Like Joe Mazzulla like the first thing he says, he's like, yeah, you're not as bad at defense as everyone says. We promise. We're going to get it out of you. So we're going to get to see if they put their money where their mouth is today. Have they really gotten him to buy in? Is there a buy-in? Is the buy-in possible? It feels like it should be. He's the right size. He's not tiny. You were there right next to me.
So I love this topic right here. It's something I was writing about over the summer, that it really does come down to Anthony Simons, because he has the tools. He's got the wingspan, 6'7". He's got the quickness and the foot speed. He is not Isaiah Thomas, Celtics version, or Pistons even, who is just, you're kind of resigned to being a defensive target, and it is what it is. He has the ability, as long as he's engaged and committed. And I think the reason he wasn't is he didn't believe in his teams in Portland. He told me at training camp, what he's most eager to prove is that being here for an organization that has a spotlight like the Celtics in a major market, he wants to, the way that he put it was to earn a winning stigma, because he came from a place where he was the guy, he was the best offensive player on the team, and they weren't even making the play-in tournament. So the expectations, the eyeballs on you, all of it changes. And the easiest thing to do is to win at media day and to say the right things at training camp and say, yep, I am committed. But he has also put in the work, whether it's working daily with Ross McMains, talking to Joe Mazzulla about just being challenged on that end of the floor and learning a new system and a new style. Plus, it's a contract year for him. I do believe that he is engaged and focused on being more of a two-way player, on contributing to winning. And who knows how this season plays out for him, including from a trade standpoint. I think that Anthony Simons loves the idea of being in Boston beyond this season.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about like his years in Portland, like having to be the best guy and like the team kind of sucked. It does remind me of another individual, the man who was the rescue puppy. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis came to Boston and like smiled the whole time. He was on the teams with Luka and Dallas, but really aside from that, he's never been on a good team. Anthony Simons pretty similar. Like even this Celtics team, even this team that people don't really have expectations for, is better than what he had in Portland, probably beyond like the last 3.5 years, excluding the end of the All-Star break where they were good at defense and were playing better basketball to finish the season. I cannot wait to see him out there. That is number one watch point for me today. I want to see, how does he look offensively? Does he fit? Really can't get the full grasp because there's no Derrick, no Jaylen. He doesn't really have to share the floor with those guys, so we don't really get to see how he plays off of them. Probably going to see a lot more of the ball in his hands today. But you'll get to see him playing next to Pritchard, which was a big point of emphasis for Joe Mazzulla at Media Day to be like, hey, we're not putting those guys against each other. They are teammates. They're not competing. So don't even try that. He literally warned all of us. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat here. Do we know who is out tonight? No Jaylen, no Derrick. I think that's it. Absolutely hit the like. Yeah, good audience in here. We have even more watching across other platforms. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If wherever you're watching, the YouTube is How About Them Celtics. We're here every day. Jack's usually with me. He's up in Toronto at the game, and it's hectic there, so not really a good space to be doing a pregame show from, but he'll be here in the morning with me. We'll show you what he looks like if you stick around. We're going to put like talk. Yeah, it's like the Scared Straight clip where they go in the jail cell and make the kid go out. Like that's what we're going to do. We're going to get him back on the show. What up, Rob?
I like it. What up? Set the tone in preseason for what he's in for this year.
make him do his own podcast. No, I'm happy he's up there, man. That's cool. He's up there for the preseason. He did a story on Luka Garza today for Hardwood Houdini. You guys can go check it out. Luka, by the way, was very impressive. But that, we can wrap on Luka because really impressive debut, double-double. You wrote about him, right? That was you.
I did.
Claimed it. Yeah.
So, like Scal, I was over there gushing about his impact as a screener, where he's going within possessions, setting multiple different kinds. And just what stands out, again, I just feel like I'm regurgitating Scal here, but it was how quickly—
You don't want to do that.
It was how quickly he was getting out of those screens, because the first time he does it, you're like, wow, that's cool in the nerdiest way possible. And then he just every time I was like, no, this is what I do. So to see that, I'm definitely optimistic about him as this floor spacing 5 to a degree, but that's a reputation to me he still has to earn. I believe in it. I buy in it. I want to see it before putting it in pen, but the screening, that for sure is there. And that is a weapon that he even talked about after the game with Abby Chin of, we have guys like Pritchard and Jaylen and Derrick and Simons. And if I can get these guys the space they need, now the offense, especially in a half-court setting where they're going to need a little bit of a boost, that's a huge weapon to have to accentuate your best scorers.
Yeah, and he talked about that same stuff at training camp with you guys when in the media scrum. He understands, like, if I'm going to have a spot on this team, it's going to be because I have good chemistry with the best scorers. And to be honest with you, he looked like he was off to a good start. Really liked what we saw from him. Thought he was an exciting player. Did the little deceleration Euro step, which
that's his move. He loves that.
Who said, was it on the broadcast? They said he taught Anthony Edwards that, or did somebody on Twitter say it? Did I make it up?
I don't know, but I know that Anthony Edwards did say that. So that's
okay. Well,
that
maybe
comes
that's
from the mouth of Anthony Edwards. I don't know.
A lot of things come from
it
there.
Got mentioned on the NBC Sports Boston broadcast or not.
I do want to address this little tease. Wednesday, preseason finale. We will have Jake. It'll be a lot of fun. He is on the long guest list. We're going to be trying to have guests every pregame show, Jack or no Jack. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yes, he is busy these days. Am I lagging? Is it just not letting me put the comment up? Whatever. Anyways, we can wrap it there. Bobby, there it goes. Lovely. Is there anything you want to plug before we wrap it up? Big thank you to you for coming to hang out this evening.
Always love coming on, engaging with the chat and everything. And yeah, you can go check out, I wrote about Ugo's preseason debut for Forbes. You can catch my work at Hardwood Houdini as well. And then find me feeding my Twitter addiction over there at Bobby Kravitsky.
All right. Well, I will wrap it there. Here's Joe Mazzulla. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your